Audio Jungle.
सा विद्या या विमुक्तये और एजुकेशन दैट लिबरेट्स क्यों नहीं करना चाहिए। तो इसमें आप देखिए, आप रामायण महाभारत या आप हमारे कोई भी शास्त्र को उठा के देखिए, उसमें भक्ति का एस्पेक्ट है बट थोड़ा सा है। उसमें ज़्यादा ज़रूरी ये है कि वो लोग उससे क्या उपदेश देना चाह रहे हैं, विश्व को क्या संदेश दे रहे हैं। जैसे उसमें कांस्टेंट आपको एक थीम आता है, धर्म संकट। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू सी इन दिस अराउंड 1.25 acres of our playground area, we are providing almost every sport possible: cricket, volleyball, football, basketball, tennis, skating. जैसे सफलता पे ध्यान मत दो, सार्थकता पे ध्यान दो।
We talk of 21st century skills, but I would say at Indic we put these skills into practice. Like we try to imbibe these skills by various activities, using various other activities. Per se, the creativity. We are actually introducing this media literacy to ensure
basing more on the research. Kindly have a kitchen garden where they see the plants grow. They take the curriculum ahead over there. You have activities where the children have done their research and they're presenting it. Okay, it could be anything to do with a folk song to maybe reciting Kabir ka doha in the classroom.
Or should I say it is an Akhand Bharat representation. Taram yat samudrasya, what lies to the north of the oceans. Himadraschaiva dakshinam, what lies to the south of the Himalayas. Varsham tada Bharata nama. This entire land mass is called Bharatvarsh. Bharati yatra santati, and the descendants of Bharata live here.
పిల్లలకి అర్థమయ్యే రీతిలో వారి స్థాయికి తగినట్టుగా టీచింగ్ మెథడ్స్ని మేము ఇక్కడ యూజ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాం సార్. చిన్నపిల్లలలో మనం చిన్నతనం నుంచి సంస్కృత శిక్షణ అభ్యాసాన్ని చేయడం ద్వారా వాళ్ళు యాక్చువల్లీ నిజానికి చెప్పాలంటే గ్రేడ్ 7th క్లాస్ వాళ్ళతో పోల్చుకుంటే నర్సరీ పిల్లల్లో ఎక్కువగా మనము వాళ్ళ తెలివిని ఎక్కువగా మనం ఇక్కడ చూడవచ్చు సార్. వాళ్ళు విషయాన్ని ఎంత కష్టమైనటువంటి విషయమైనా సరే వాళ్ళు గ్రహించేటువంటి పద్ధతి, వాళ్ళు నేర్చుకునేటువంటి విధానంలో చాలా మార్పును మనం గమనించవచ్చు. అజ్ఞానతిమిరాంధస్య జ్ఞానాంజనశలాకయా చక్షురున్మీలితం యేన తస్మై శ్రీ గురవే నమః.
Hello, I'm Radhi from grade 7 and I'm studying in Indic International School. The best thing I like about the school is that there are many activities, curriculum activities, and there's a lot to play in sports. And the teachers are very sweet and they understand our problems and they explain the concept.
Hi, my name is Kia Tilokani. I study in 4th grade in Indic International School. The thing I like is the most is generally the Saturday that they have a little competitive edge between the two friends. Like if I am in one house and my friend is in another house, even if we're friends, we learn how to compete with each other. One reason I really like my house is because it actually it goes with anything. Like you put it with any color, it goes along. That's why I really like my house. So if I talk about best friends from my class, I have 2. So actually I really like it as it has a unique design. It's not all the same, maybe black and white or a certain color. It is different, like some places are brown, some places are grey, some places are colorful, and I think that down the ground floor it has many colors on the floor and on the ceiling. So it's very colorful, so your mind is a little calm even if you have exams. My classroom, Actually, in my classroom, it's very fun. So, at class teacher Cinderella ma'am, she's not that pressurizing. Like, no matter how many marks you get, you're like, okay, it's okay. Next time you work a little harder. So, and they don't scold you. Like, let's say I get low marks a little bit, and she won't be like, why did you get so low marks and all that. My favorite teacher, I have two. So they are Saurav sir, my maths teacher, and Cinderella ma'am, my English teacher. My best friends in my class, they are Niharika, Samanvita and Vidal.
Hi sir, I'm Shalika Pillai from grade 7 and I'm studying in Indic International School. I'm in a home house. Like all the houses in our school is dependent on like the dynasties, like the kingdoms, and a home is a tribal kingdom and they've charged a lot of wars and won them, and yeah. I was an anchor in Republic Day, many those kind of programs, and then I enjoyed doing them. Like the school gives us a lot of opportunities to get over our fears, like getting on the stage and speaking few words. Like basketball is like my favorite sport. Our sir teaches us really good and it's very interesting. Riddhi, Ritisha, Manaswini, and basically all of them are my friends. Like studying together, group studying, doing some activity together. Basketball. All the teachers are really sweet and supportive, but I would say Saurav sir, he's my math teacher. They give us a lot of opportunities to perform, and a lot of creative stuff is done in our school, and it's really fun. I love the school, yeah. About what happened at school and like what we did, what did we study, and what all happened.
Namaskar, hello and welcome to this special interaction of IndiGlobal Media Network known as IndiGlobal Campus Trails. And today we are at Indic International School at Kompally, Hyderabad, which is known to impart education and build leaders beyond the classroom and the textbooks. And we are joined by a special guest who dons many hats. He is not just chairman of this international school, but also a poet, a nationalist, an entrepreneur, an industrialist, and a columnist, and also a researcher. We'll get to know more about the school, its vision, and its mission, about how they are nurturing the young children and building them into leaders. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ashish Naredi. Welcome, Mr. Ashish. Thanks for joining us. First, we would like to know, what does this mean? Sa Vidya Ya. It is Sa Vidya Ya Vimuktaye, or education that liberates. So that we loosely translate for our educational campaign as education that sets you free, to break all the bondages or inhibitions that students have or any person has, and make them free to be able to realize their full potential. So that's the motto of the school, and everything that we do in the school, the entire curriculum, all the activities, they're designed in sync with this philosophy, so that we enable students to, at some point of time later in their lives, be able to realize their full potential. We lay the foundations for that, or we would like to lay the foundations for that. Great. So you are known as an education activist. Now you have become an educationist. You are also an entrepreneur and industrialist, and you are now recently known for your poetry. You are also a columnist and researcher. How come Indic International School? It's a natural corollary, I would say, to the activism days, because what good is an activist if you can't show the truth or a working model of what you would want to show to the world? So while we were there in our parents' association, and we were telling that this is how school should be, this is how school should be running, and if schools don't do that, then a challenge often got thrown at me that why don't you start a school and show it to us? We said, okay, we'll do that as well. So that's what got me to starting Indic International School, and I'm so glad that I took that step. And yeah, I would like people to hold me accountable to all the promises and all the words that I said as an activist, and see if I'm fulfilling them when I started my own school. Amazing. So basically, you're walking the talk. Yes. What use is talk if you can't just walk? If you can't walk your talk. Great. Amazing. So how does Indic International School stand out from the rest? In a lot of ways. First, to address the question with which the entire activism started, and that was about maintaining transparency over the fee structures with the parents and giving them respite from fee hikes or keeping the fee hikes reasonable. So in our school, we give them a 10-year outlook on what the fees is likely to be, and it's a firm commitment that the fee hikes will be less than 10% no matter what. Now, when we say fee hikes will be less than 10%, a lot of schools also do that, but the way they implement it is where the catch lies. So the way the other schools implement it, it's got nothing to do with the fees that the parent paid in the previous year. And while the school might say it is 10%, the actual hike could be anywhere between 25 to 35, 40% also. What we tell our parents is, you forget about everything else. You look at what fees you're paying in grade 1. Your grade 2 fees will not be more than 10% of it. The fee hike will not be more than 10% in that in any year till you finish your 10th standard. So that's what we are doing very different compared to all other schools. But that, like I said, that's just a part of it. What we also do very different to other schools is in terms of the curriculum that we deliver, the way we deliver, and the actual contents of the curriculum. To give you 2-3 major points, which I would call it will be our unique selling propositions or key differentiators. One is the knowledge of Sanskrit. We believe in our philosophy of Savidyaya Vimuktaye, it's important for self-realization to first understand who we are. Knowledge of self. In the present education system, it is only limited to the knowledge of the physical body, and what's inside, it's totally ignored. So we are laying a lot of stress on the self and self-realization aspect, for which we feel Sanskrit is important. And Sanskrit is therefore a compulsory part of our curriculum in our school. Everybody from LKG till grade 8 learns Sanskrit in our school. Second aspect is meditation. So which is where the process of the journey of self-discovery starts. If you look at the present education system and the present schools, the key thing is that the present schools believe that when the students come to the school, they know nothing and everything has to be taught to them. Our approach is the students know everything, just that we have to enable them to realize that they know everything. So there's a basic difference in how the students are treated, and that is where Sanskrit, meditation help us. Third aspect is, of course, the music curriculum that we have, which is again compulsory for all students. So these are the 3 key differentiating aspects that we have. Beyond that, we have many more, but we can discuss about them.
Amazing. One thing I personally liked about Indic International School is that you are keeping your students rooted to the Indian culture, the culture of Bharat, at the same time as Sanskrit is also being very important. Basic foundation is being set for Sanskrit.
Yeah. See, if you see the entire curriculum that is there with us, it basically takes care of literacy. It doesn't so much take care of education. Education is what used to happen in our country earlier. That is the knowledge about your own self, who you are, why you are here. Success was not the only thing, but meaning to life was the more important thing. If you could use the exact terms that we use, they said, Safalta pe dhyan mat do, sarthakta pe dhyan do. But we have veered a little away from it. Not that we don't want kids to be successful. They have to be successful. But along with success, there needs to be meaning to life. And that is where our Indic values and Indic traditions keep in, to make the students grounded and constantly be on the paths or the journey of self-discovery, not only discovering themselves, but also what their society is, what the problems of society are, and how they can help to the solution of these problems. Like I said, it's all easy to talk, more difficult to walk your talk.
Yes.
So we would like our students to be people of action, students of action. Don't just sit there and give gyan that this is wrong, this is what needs to be done. While you give that, you should also accompany it by telling what is it that you as a person, as an individual can do to correct that problem. And that's a very important aspect of education, of our perception of education, and which is what we would like to inculcate in our students.
ग्रेट. आप राष्ट्रीयवाद विचारधारा के लिए भी जाने जाते हैं. आप कवि भी हैं, कॉलमिस्ट भी हैं, आप लिरिसिस्ट भी हैं. बहुत सारे गाने भी लिखे हैं आप भारत को लेके. आप और अभी यह एक चर्चा भी छिड़ी हुई है नेशनल लेवल पे कि रामायण महाभारत इंक्लूजन होना चाहिए बच्चों के करिकुलम में. आपका क्या कहना है उसका?
क्यों नहीं करना चाहिए? तो इसमें आप देखिए, आप रामायण महाभारत या आप हमारे कोई भी शास्त्र को उठा के देखिए, उसमें भक्ति का एस्पेक्ट है, बट थोड़ा सा है। उसमें ज़्यादा ज़रूरी ये है कि वो लोग उससे क्या उपदेश देना चाह रहे थे, विश्व को क्या संदेश दे रहे थे। जैसे उसमें कांस्टेंट आपको एक थीम आता है, धर्म संकट। What is the moral dilemma that you are faced with and what is the action that you are taking? Let's take the question of Mahabharata. Now there is a person who has to take a call of fighting against all his siblings, his own family. And the question is, because they are family, should he let go of dharma or the right cause? Now, aren't such dilemmas, aren't such points of critical decision making always a part of our life? We're constantly required to make such decisions. So shouldn't such moral compasses be introduced in schools? Shouldn't we start discussing with our students that this is what Arjuna did? You don't want the students to all of them reach a conclusion that this is what he should have done, this is what he should not have done. But what you more critically want to do is to ignite that question in their minds that given this situation, what is it that he should have done? They could have different points of view. We don't want to supply a particular point of view, but we want to ignite that process of questioning in the students' minds. And which is where I think it is very important to have these topics and these moral compasses introduced in schools. Take Ramayana for instance, or not even the father. The mother tells the child that you're bound to be king, but you leave all this and go to Vanvas. Now, in today's day and age, mother tells, beta, don't use the phone. Will the student listen? He will not even leave the phone. And there was a gentleman, Rama, who left the entire kingdom and went and stayed in forests for 14 years. So isn't there a contrast in the values then and values now? Now, what is it that you would like to do? What is it that should be done? We still don't want to tell कि बेटा मम्मी की बात सुन के फोन छोड़ दो, but at least क्यों छोड़ना चाहिए, छोड़ने से क्या होगा, नहीं छोड़ने से क्या होगा, वो डिस्कशन, उस वाद विवाद से संवाद का तो आरंभ होना ही चाहिए. That is what we believe, and which is why I feel we do need to introduce it in schools. While we have still not done it, at some point of time, in some form or the other, we would like to introduce that in our school as well. Not to teach religion, but at least to bring such discussions into a school level and prepare the students for future situation where they might have to take a call one way or the other.
Great. This thought process will basically bring that self-realization, and the decision is up to the students to make.
And one more critical part there is, now if you see what Krishna did to what Rama did, there is a sea of difference. Rama left his entire kingdom and went to the forests. Krishna said, no, you cannot, you have to fight. So there was a difference in that yuga and Krishna's yuga. Now we are in Kali Yuga. So what is the right course of action in Kali Yuga? What is it that you got to do? At least start thinking about it. And when the situation you're faced with it, that time perhaps you'll be a little more prepared to take that difficult call in life.
Great. Now your school is from the PP1, PP2 under nursery to 7th grade.
Yes.
And the strength is likely to go up. So what is the kind of unique responses that has amazed you or interested or brought that sense of satisfaction in you by listening to the parents, the feedback from the parents and also the students?
See, the kind of feedback that we've got from our parents has been absolutely humbling, to say the least. Other day, a student, I think in grade UKG or 1, the parent brought the child to our school and she had all the IV fluid injection syringes inserted. I said, what happened? Why did you bring her to school? And the parent said, no, from hospital she's been telling that I want to go to school. And I was left stunned there that, a student likes the school so much that even in hospital she's telling the doctor that I want to go to school. And of course she stays near our school. Before going home, the parent brought the child here to meet the principal and then the child went home. So in a way, it's absolutely humbling for us that this is the level of confidence that the parents are reposing in the school, and this is the level of affection that the students are giving us. Now it's our responsibility to live up to their expectations and do whatever it is that we can do to fulfill our promises and to fulfill the parents and students' expectations. So it's a very, very humbling experience for us.
మీ స్కూల్ క్యాంపస్ చాలా బ్యూటిఫుల్ అందంగా ఉంది. Would you like to tell something about it?
Yeah, it's spread over 2 acres, but we've made it a point to utilize every small bit and piece possible and give it a nice aesthetic look. For example, if you see in this around 1.25 acres of our playground area, we are providing almost every sport possible. Cricket, volleyball, football, basketball, tennis, skating, and what are the outdoor sports? So if anything else is there, we can add that as well. And besides this, we'll be having a big indoor sports complex as well. So as far as all sports and facilities are concerned, we would cover all the basics. And if you can just pan the camera around, you would see a lot of students and parents here. This is all our after school coaching, and a lot of students from nearby schools also come to our school for the coaching, even if they are not a part of our regular school. The parents, they come and they like to have their evening walks here. Usually schools don't allow that, but we are absolutely okay. What use is a facility if you can't put it to good use? And as long as the facilities are not being spoiled and play around with, what problem do we have? So till about 6:30, till it's dark, there's somebody always here playing or enjoying the atmosphere, and they really love the garden type atmosphere here, and we are happy that people are liking and utilizing it to its full extent.
Great, great. I can see there you have houses in your school as Maurya, Chola. These are basically dynasties, right? So would you like to tell something? And I can see it is pan-India, different.
So we were debating on, we have 4 houses, on what do we name them or how do we name them. And from the Indic perspective, from a national integration perspective, we thought it's good to have 4 well-known dynasties, or 4 dynasties, 4 kingdoms from across India, north, east, west, south, which is where we zeroed in on these 4, of which Maurya, Chola and Kakatiya are pretty well-known. Ahom perhaps not all that much, and that's the reason why we chose Ahom. 1, because it's not really well-known, even though it was a very powerful empire, and 2, because it's from the northeast of India. So that's why we chose it. To give just a small piece of information, Mughal Empire could never expand to the northeast because of the Ahom kingdoms. They were very powerful kingdoms, very powerful kings and generals, and they just wouldn't allow Mughals to reach anywhere in the northeast. That's why we chose Ahoms. Ahom, Chola, Kakatiya and Maurya. So 4 dynasties of India.
Talking about your dynasties, I remember Ahom dynasty is basically from the northeast, and a very famous warrior, Lachit Borphukan, who has defeated Mughals for 7 times, and they did not dare again to enter back to
anywhere near northeast. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why we took Ahom dynasty. 1, because it's from northeast, and 2, because we know very little about this great dynasty and about the great warriors that this kingdom produced, among which Lachit Borphukan is the most famous one. So Aurangzeb and the entire Mughal dynasty, they forever wanted to enter northeast, but only because of Ahoms, they could never venture anywhere near Assam and beyond. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why we thought it's important to have Ahom dynasty also as one of our house names.
Great, great, amazing. And I can also see that all the kids have come in and they're playing basketball. The kids are skating around. Find this very interesting. Your children also raised this kitchen garden. Can we have a look at it?
Yeah, please.
So we can see your children also it's very interesting to see your children getting involved in this kitchen gardening, and a lot of brinjal, tomato is already out there.
Radish, spinach, muskmelon, chilies, a lot of other vegetables that they're growing. Yeah.
So what do they do with this?
See, this is a part of our exercise wherein we would like to make education more practical and hands-on. Now, if you want to teach plant life to children, one way is I get them to read a book. Second way is to get them to see videos. Third way is to get them to actually grow plants. So, which is where we thought of a kitchen garden. Now, if you want to teach germination, flowering, fruiting of a plant, harvesting, then why not get the kids to do it themselves? And where do you find space? So, which is where, if you see here, we've made this entire kitchen garden into small 2.5 feet by 3 feet boxes. 1 box to each child is what we'll be giving. They do everything in this kitchen garden, from sowing of the seeds to putting water to using any pesticides also, if possible. But we'll do another exercise where we'll try completely organic food as well. So this is a more hands-on way of the children learning firstly about plant life. Now, if you see there's so many brinjals, I think in a day or 2 they will again harvest it. So it's a regular activity in the school that whatever produce is generated here, they put up a vegetable stall at the end of the school and they sell it to the parents who come to pick up the students. And a lot of parents are also used to picking vegetables from the school. In fact, a parent was telling me that the tomatoes grown in Indic are the most tasty ones that she ever saw. So yeah, it's a very fun way for children where in a way you not only give them what actually needs to be taught to them, but in a very interesting manner where they're excited to come and do something. In fact, when we were doing this, the painting also we got our students only to do. So they have that sense of belonging and attachment, and when the parents come, see, I painted this part, and that's how it works.
My name is Arman. I'm from grade 7 and the school's name is Indic International. My favorite teacher is Namanita ma'am and Deepthi ma'am. The way of the teaching of this is very nice, and the concepts they never go out of the mind. Then every Saturday there's a competition between houses so that you could improve your speaking skills, your confidence, and whenever you see a crowd everyone gets nervous, so improving that skill too. I'm in Kakatiya. Kakatiya is in Telangana only. Yes. So we have rivalries also in which Kakatiya and Ahomada. So we're at the second place, sometimes at the first, just second and first place difference. I would say.
In the school, I have 4 best friends. One is Rishika, Dakshita, Sana and Vaishnavi. I'm studying in 5th grade and my full name is Kiana Virani and my school's name is Indic International School. Yeah, there are many sports activities like basketball and all. I like basketball because I get to do the baskets and all, and I'm improved in basketballs. Yoga classes, yeah, we have sometimes. Meditating classes, sometimes we have. Yeah, I like the school. I love the way the teachers teach us and the events on Saturdays and the sports over here. So. There are many, almost 10 I participated. Declamation and some speech and poems about Rabindranath Tagore and some other poems. It would probably be Reshma ma'am, sir. Because she teaches me in detail and I understand every concept of hers. Yeah, I discuss if something I get happy with it, I discuss it with my mom. My full name is Ritisha Bairam. I'm studying in grade 7 and my school's name is Indic International School. Cultural captain is very creative, so we have kite making competitions, any art competitions basically. We have this painting competition, that is also. My favorite is the diya making. My friends are Shalika, Riddhi and Manaswini. And the most I enjoy in my classroom is in the breaks we just do some fun stuff. I like the fun atmosphere in the school, the cleanliness and how they give equal opportunities to everyone. Someone is very good at giving a speech, they are very social, but some people are shy, so they will make the shy people step out and just interact with others. We get certificates for any curriculum activity, and for house events, the winning house gets a trophy. Every Saturday we do one competition, like declamation or poem recitation. In poem recitation, I got 2nd place. Creative writing, I got 3rd place, and mostly I got 2nd place. My name is Andrea. I am studying in 1st class. My school name is Indic International School. My favorite teacher is Sunita ma'am because she teaches me very nice. She is my class teacher. I like to study. I don't like it. I have 2 best friends. Arman Bhaiya and Nirvi Devi. Kakatiya. My name is Rishikesh. I am studying in grade 3. I have friends, Yuvan and Ashwal. Like my campus. I like chess and volleyball. My favorite teacher's name is Lavanya ma'am and Tisha ma'am. Lavanya ma'am teach English, Tisha ma'am teach maths. They will teach very nice. I can understand their teaching. Something like good things. We have activities, so I will tell them. Our parents, Sanskrit and art. Mama Nama Rishikesh, Mama Matu Nama Anuradha, Mama Pitu Nama Satyanarayan Reddy, Mama Bharatiya Nama Chandrahas. Aham Indic International Madhye Tritiya Taksham Patami.
My name is Nirvi. I'm studying in grade 3. My school name is Indic International. I have 4 friends. They are Srinidhi, Tanvi, Deepa, and one more is actually Arman Bhaiya, Lavanya Webb. She is having a good voice. She teaches the concepts very easily and I can understand it really well. I like throwball and basketball. In throwball, we basically just throw the ball. Basketball, it's just like a easy sport for me. I have classes also sometimes. Normally just my classmates. Normally just sceneries and just shaded drawings. Must be the teaching of the teachers. Yes, it's very beautiful, lots of greenery, not a single dust. It's only for a matter of time since we all have to study a lot. The school is very pretty. We have a lot of classes from nursery to class 7. Soon we will all be moving to different classes. It's gonna be a fun year soon. Mudakaratamodakam sada vimukti sadakam kalataravatam sakam vilasi lokarakshakam anayakaikanayakam vilasi devajaitakam natasupasanasekam namamitam vinayakam. Not really, but I know that it's a sloka from Ganesha Panchakam.
Indic is entirely different to other schools. First and foremost, we have adopted the CBSE curriculum because it is a kind of a balanced diet and which actually nurtures it is self-sufficient, it nurtures every student where knowledge or attitude or skills are concerned. It gives a lot of room and scope for us to introduce new subjects or new programs or accessory or associated programs. And we have taken the best of these practices from the international boards like IB or Cambridge, or even including ICSE and State Board as well. Whatever is better in other boards, we have taken that and we have introduced in our school curriculum to enrich. It's just like adding nutrients to the balanced diet. We have introduced the transdisciplinary integration, we have introduced the transdisciplinary skills like self-management skills, then creativity, research-based collaborative learning activities, and also differential teaching and a different type of assessment where the formative assessment has a lot of scope for all-round development of the child. We talk of 21st century skills, but I would say at Indic we put these skills into practice. Like we try to imbibe these skills by introducing various other activities. Per se, the creativity. We are actually introducing this media literacy to ensure that the children are actually having this analytical thinking. They can evaluate, they can infer, and they have a sense of judgment to adapt and accept what is good for them and what is right for them. And when it comes to communication, so we do give a lot of emphasis to communication in different aspects. It's just not about teaching. We also give them a lot of scope for communication and communication activities in the school so that they can become perfect in communication. And when it comes to critical thinking, it is very important for us to imbibe the skills of flexibility and adaptability in children. So here I would say there is another very important aspect to how different we are, as how Indic is different, is about looking into adversity quotient. It is very important for us to understand how important it is to prepare the child for the future life. It's just not about marks or what grades he has scored in his board exams or which university he's got admission into. It is very important that every child needs to be prepared for the future life. And there are a lot of uncertainties and there are a lot of adversities that the child has to face. A lot of challenges will be thrown at him. And we have to prepare the child to face all these challenges. So for that, right, we ensure that the children get their hands dirty. They grow their own vegetables, they sell the vegetables, they make money, and the future world is going to have a lot of dearth of resources. We have to teach our children how to save, how to share and manage the resources. So we have started with the baby steps of introducing these kind of skills so that we can prepare them to the in future. There will be a future preparedness, but we have seen and understood that children are fast learning and they have adapted themselves very quickly. and they are enjoying the process. The textbook learning is first process, but we go beyond the textbooks to teach all these collaborative aspects, and the child is more confident. He's emerging to be more collaborative, and I would say they enjoy and they love coming to school. And it is very important that we give a global approach to our children's learning by making him a global citizen. But we ensure here in Indic that he carries this Indic consciousness, even though he actually has a Western progressive thinking. So we have to give the best of both worlds by making sure he's connected with his roots and respects his identity. At the same time, he's got a global approach.
We are joined by a special guest who is the principal, who is also a seasoned educationist with over 17 years of rich and diverse experience pan-India in the school education. She holds double post-graduation degree in commerce and psychology. She is also known for several initiatives in the school education. We'll get to know more in our special interaction with our guest today, who is the principal with the Indic International School, Miss Mithu Nag. Welcome, ma'am. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
First, we would like to know, you have rich experience working across the country. Can you please tell us your academic background? You are also double postgraduate in commerce and psychology. What has been your experience and what is your educational background?
Well, I have completed my master's in commerce plus a master's in psychology. Commerce was my subject which I chose to pursue chartered accountancy, and psychology, of course, at a later part of my life when I had to interact more with the students and thought this would help me, understand the students better, their perspective better, and that's the reason to pursue my psychology. So I've also done my B.Ed from Pune University, and I've also done a nursery teacher's training, because as you said, pan-India, we didn't know, which part of the country we were going to be in, and every job demanded a particular course to be done or a particular assignment to be done, and that's the reason why this vast the certificates or the certification courses that I've done. So that's about my education. Yes, being pan-India, being from the army, married to an army officer, I think I've been traveling all across the northeast, west, south of India. So our first transfer to Kota gave me an opportunity to start my career as a teacher then, and that's where my journey started where teaching was concerned. Moving on to Ludhiana, coming back to Ambala, and then most of my tenure at Gopalpur, that is in Orissa, and Pune was where we have served, and that is where I have worked under different organizations, so teaching at different levels and taking up different positions in the organizations. So 17 years is teaching of senior secondary as well as every other position that I've held wherever we have been.
That's quite a journey. So how come in Indic International School?
Well, I was settled here in Hyderabad at the fag end of our tenure with the army, and that's when I think I got to know about Indic International School, the thought behind which the school was going to start, and me being a product of Ramakrishna Vidyalaya, Sainikpuri, is what made me look for a school which was going into the ethics of the Indian culture, was going into the Indic value of Indian culture, where Sanskrit was going to be one of the subjects, is what drew me to this particular school, because we were taught in that manner in our days, and that's what I was looking forward to in a school where I could do my best. So that's how it.
Great. Here you're ensuring overall personality development of a child, ensuring that there is that discipline, respect, keeping them connected to the roots. At the same time, how are you ensuring they get that global perspective in their education?
When we teach the children here, it's not just about the classroom teaching that's happening, right? As we always say, or any of us say, it's going beyond textbooks. And we talk about global perspective while staying rooted. You will see it's like a plant which has strong roots, and then it grows the way it can. So the same thing goes with our school. If your roots are strong, if your ethics are strong, your values are strong, your morals are strong, I think you go on to become a strong human being who can face anything in life. So developing these little ones, developing these skills in the little ones giving them that confidence, giving them those platforms where they can explore their talents and come up with whatever best they can, giving them that platform to explore that kind of inherent qualities that they have, instilling those soft skills, bringing down them to humbleness, okay, respecting each person who's around you. I think that goes on to make a wholesome citizen or a wholesome person. So we're not looking at holistic development. We're looking at a human being who can be placed anywhere, who is ready to take on any challenge because his roots are grounded. The roots are strong. So that is where, the way the tree flourishes, it's the same way that we look at our children. Making the roots strong so that they can flourish wherever they are. So that's the global perspective. When we talk about global perspective, it's basically making them think again beyond what is there in the classroom, taking them to those levels where they can do research on anything that's given on hand and come back to us with that confidence of what they have researched on and what they have found out. So when we say global perspective, it is widening their thought, okay, taking them away from classroom learning to what is available outside, making them confident that they are ready to face the challenges given at any point of time. So interviews given by the children today, I think we were proud to see that the students spoke so well because they had that confidence in them. Had the children not had that confidence of speaking, given a question thrown at them, 8 months would have been a waste, where it is, these children have spent at Indic. I think when it comes to this global perspective, this is what we are looking at. The child who is grounded can flourish anywhere that he is. So be it a global platform given to him or maybe a classroom platform. So from the classroom, we take the child to a global situation or a scenario altogether.
What are the activities that are given to them or they are put into so that they are growing and in terms of their maturity and also adapting these things?
When we talk about the activities in the classrooms, we follow the CBSE curriculum, of course. But then when it comes to implementing it, it is more than what the curriculum says. For us, it's more of an hands-on activities that we have. It's more research-based. It's more given, the classroom-oriented. It's more of a teamwork, okay, rather than an individual way of conducting it. And when we talk about activities, it is again, the children come back with the results. So that question that, children come and ask why. Developing that curiosity in the child to ask that question is what we look at. So when we talk about these kind of activities, where the children can, actually grow, is basing more on the research kind. You have a kitchen garden where they see the plants grow. They take the, curriculum ahead over there. You have activities where the children have done their research and they're presenting it. Okay, it could be anything to do with a folk song to, maybe reciting Kabir Ka Doha in the classroom. So these are the kind of activities that they do where they have research and they come back. So these activities help them, develop the skills, sharpen the skills, not just where education or knowledge is concerned, learning is concerned. It's also how to face an audience and convince them to what you have done. So it's learning as well as taking the learning beyond your textbooks. So that's what we believe in. We also have projects which are introduced in the classes. Each classroom has been given a project which they again do they follow up the projects. And these projects are to do with, nature, to do with the cleanliness, to do with discipline, to do with save energy, to do with the calculating the wastage or the BMI or, whatever the intake of food, okay. So every class has been given a project where they go around to teach, appraise everybody as to what has to be done to maybe save energy, rainwater harvesting, okay, taking the vermicompost into consideration. So these, I think, bring them closer to nature, and that is how they, I think, go beyond the classroom. So this is where we're looking at when we say futuristic in a way of learning. Learning not just through the rote method of learning after doing what has been given to them. Then we also have values, ethics in place. We have value of the month where you have, team spirit, honesty, being, reflective, being self-reliant, confident, okay. So these are the values which are there for the month, and we ensure that the child who has been seen to follow these kind of values in that particular month is given a badge in recognition of his value. So that is one thing that we follow over here, and which makes the child inclined towards following that particular value, and the child carries that badge with pride the entire month. So this is where again we see that ethics, morals are in place where Indic International is concerned.
Great. While we were interacting with the kids who are like 7th grade or less than that, quite an amazing confidence they have, like interacting and their soft skills as well. I think this is bringing the results, these kind of platforms to them. At the same time, what is that makes Indic International School stand out from the rest of the schools, and how is it, what would be your message to the parents and kids who look up to international school?
See, when we say what makes Indic stand out over here, whatever I've got as a feedback from the parents, what I have seen or what we have seen of the journey of Indic, I think the kind of atmosphere that's given to the child, a child who is made or who is let to grow, okay, who is given that confidence to see that he can face an audience, that leadership that he can carry ahead on his shoulders, a responsibility, how it can be dealt with or how it can be given out, accountability of a child, discipline is something which makes the school stand out. I think when parents speak to us, it is like the transformation that the child has taken from what he was before and what he is today is, I think, what makes Indic special. So it's not what I am saying, it's what we have received as a feedback from the parent, and that's I think the credibility that we hold when we say Indic is different. Okay, so when it comes from the person who is there, trusted us with this school, I think their credential, what Indic is all about, is what I can vouch for, where we are different. So we are making a difference in the society in terms of laying these foundations of values and ethics and morals, laying that sense of responsibility and discipline in the children, seeing that they respect everybody, and also seeing that we bring about a change where getting back to the roots and culture is concerned. So I think that is where Indic is different.
Amazing, ma'am. Thank you very much for joining us and sharing your journey of Indic International School and way ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Namami. My name is Narsimhamurthy. I am the Sanskrit teacher. I teach nursery to grade 7. I am working in Indic International School.
So you can tell how is your experience with kids while teaching them Sanskrit in various activities. We saw you indulging them in various activities while teaching Sanskrit.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How is their grasping power compared to the elder ones?
Yes, sir. Here we are using different types of teaching methods. పిల్లలకి అర్థమయ్యే రీతిలో వారి స్థాయికి తగినట్టుగా టీచింగ్ మెథడ్స్ని మేము ఇక్కడ యూజ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నాం సార్. చిన్నపిల్లలలో మనం చిన్నతనం నుంచి సంస్కృత శిక్షణాభ్యాసాన్ని చేయడం ద్వారా వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువగా జ్ఞాన సముపార్జన చేయడానికి సంస్కృతం ఎంతగానో ఉపయోగపడుతుంది.
మీరు వేరే వేరే టెక్నిక్స్ ఇప్పుడు చెప్పారు వాడుతున్నారండి. సో వాళ్ళ గ్రాస్పింగ్ పవర్తో పాటు ఎలాంటి యాక్టివిటీస్ చేస్తున్నారు?
ఎస్ సార్. పిల్లల స్థాయికి తగినట్లుగా వాళ్ళకి అర్థమయ్యే రీతిలో ఎన్నో టీచింగ్ మెథడ్స్ని ఇక్కడ యూజ్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది సార్. ఉదాహరణకి రైమ్స్ చెప్పించడం, నెంబర్స్ చెప్పేటప్పుడు చిన్న చిన్న యాక్టివిటీస్ చేయించి వాళ్ళకి కాన్సెప్ట్ అర్థమయ్యే విధంగా చేయడము, ఈ విధంగా ఎన్నో మెథడ్స్ని యూజ్ చేసి అతి కష్టమైనటువంటి విషయాన్ని కూడా చాలా సులభతరంగా వాళ్ళకి అర్థమయ్యే రీతిలో బోధించడం జరుగుతుంది.
మీ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ PB1 నర్సరీ వాళ్ళ నుంచి 7th స్టాండర్డ్ వరకు వాళ్ళ డిఫరెన్స్ ఎలా ఉంది? గ్రాస్పింగ్ కానీ మీరు టీచింగ్ చేసే పద్ధతి కానీ?
యాక్చువల్లీ నిజానికి చెప్పాలంటే గ్రేడ్ 7th క్లాస్ వాళ్ళతో పోల్చుకుంటే నర్సరీ పిల్లల్లో ఎక్కువగా మనము వాళ్ళ తెలివిని ఎక్కువగా మనం ఇక్కడ చూడవచ్చు సార్. వాళ్ళు విషయాన్ని ఎంత కష్టమైనటువంటి విషయమైనా సరే వాళ్ళు గ్రహించేటువంటి పద్ధతి, వాళ్ళు నేర్చుకునేటువంటి విధానంలో చాలా మార్పును మనం గమనించవచ్చు. పెద్దవాళ్ళకి 1కి 10 సార్లు చెబితే వీళ్ళకి కనీసం 1-2 సార్లులోనే వీళ్ళ విషయాన్ని ఎంతో చక్కగా అవగాహన చేసుకుంటున్నారు. సో పెద్దవాళ్ళతో పోలిస్తే చిన్నవాళ్ళల్లోనే ఎక్కువగా గ్రాస్పింగ్ పవర్ ఉందనే విషయాన్ని నేను గ్రహించాను.
ఇండిక్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్ గురించి, ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ ప్రత్యేకంగా సంస్కృత్కి ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఇచ్చారు. సో వాట్ ఈస్ దాట్ యూ వుడ్ లైక్ టు టెల్ అండ్ హౌ డస్ ఇండిక్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్ స్టాండ్ అవుట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద?
భారతస్య ప్రతిష్ఠే ద్వే సంస్కృతం సంస్కృతిస్తత. భారతదేశానికి మనకి 2 గొప్ప విషయాలు ఉన్నాయి మన భారతదేశంలో. మన భారతీయత, మన భారతీయ సంస్కృతి, సాంప్రదాయాలు. సో ఎవరైతే సంస్కృతాన్ని తెలుసుకోలేరో వాళ్ళు మన భారతీయ సంస్కృతిని కూడా తెలుసుకోలేరు. ఏ సంస్కృతం న జానంతి తే భారతీయ సంస్కృతిరపి నవగచ్చంతి ఇది. సో ఎవరు మన భారతీయ సంస్కృతిని సంస్కృత భాషని అర్థం చేసుకోలేరో వాళ్ళు మన సాంప్రదాయాన్ని కూడా అర్థం చేసుకోలేరు. సో ఇక్కడ మేము ఈ ఇండిక్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్లో ప్రత్యేకంగా సంస్కృత భాష మీద చాలా శ్రద్ధ తీసుకోవడం జరిగింది. ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి నర్సరీ టు గ్రేడ్ 7 ఆల్ గ్రేడ్స్ వాళ్ళందరికీ కూడా మేము సంస్కృతం టీచ్ చేయడం అనేది జరుగుతుంది. సో ప్రస్తుత సమాజంలో సంస్కృతము నిరాదరణకు గురవుతుందనేది విషయం మనం గమనిస్తున్నాం. మన భారతీయ సంస్కృతిని అర్థం చేసుకోవాలంటే సంస్కృత భాషను కూడా మనం ముందుగా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి. పూర్వంలో చూసినట్లయితే మనము ఆశ్రమ పద్ధతి నుంచి కూడా సంస్కృత శిక్షణాభ్యాసాన్ని మనం గమనించవచ్చు. ఇక్కడ మేము ప్రత్యేకంగా ఇండిక్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్లో సంస్కృతాన్ని ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి కూడా చేరవేసే విధంగా నర్సరీ నుంచి కూడా గ్రేడ్ 7 పిల్లలందరికీ కూడా సంస్కృత భాషని అధ్యాపన చేయడం అనేది జరుగుతుంది. ప్రస్తుత సమాజంలో సంస్కృత భాష నిరాదరణకు గురవుతున్నటువంటి ఈ సందర్భంలో ఈ ఇండిక్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్ ద్వారా ఇండిక్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్ యొక్క ముఖ్య ఉద్దేశ్యం సా విద్యా యా విముక్తయే. ఏ విద్య అయితే మనం నేర్చుకుంటున్నప్పుడు, ఏ విద్య అయితే మనం కష్టాల్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు, ఏ విద్య అయితే మనల్ని ఒక బంధకం నుంచి విముక్తులను చేస్తుందో, ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సెట్స్ యూ ఫ్రీ, ఏ విద్య అయితే మన బంధకాల నుంచి మనల్ని విముక్తులుగా చేస్తుందో అదే నిజమైనటువంటి విద్య అనేటువంటి శీర్షికతో మా ఇండిక్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్ అనేది నడిపించడం జరుగుతుంది.
ఈ సంస్కృతము ఫౌండేషన్ ఎలా సెట్ చేస్తుంది, ఆ పిల్లల ఫ్యూచర్ ఎలా ఉండబోతుంది?
ఎస్ సార్, సంస్కృతము చాలా సైంటిఫికల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ అని ఎన్నో పరిశోధనల ద్వారా మనం నిరూపించబడింది. సో సంస్కృతం నేర్చుకునేటువంటి పిల్లలలోనూ సంస్కృతం నేర్చుకోకుండా ఉండేటువంటి పిల్లలలోనూ గనక మనము ఆ జ్ఞాన వ్యత్యాసాన్ని మనం చూసినట్లయితే సంస్కృతం నేర్చుకునేటువంటి పిల్లలలో అత్యధిక జ్ఞానశక్తి ఉందనేటువంటి విషయం నిరూపించబడింది సైంటిఫికల్గా. సో ఈ సంస్కృతం నేర్చుకోవడం ద్వారా మనము పిల్లలలో వాళ్ళ యొక్క గ్రాస్పింగ్ పవర్ని మనం ఖచ్చితంగా గమనించవచ్చు. సంస్కృతం నేర్చుకోవడం ద్వారా భాషోచ్చారణలోనూ అదేవిధంగా ఆ స్పష్టత కలిగించడంలోనూ ఈ సంస్కృతము సకల భాషా జన్మదాత్రిగా పిలువబడుతుంది. సంస్కృతం నేర్చుకుంటే మిగిలిన భాషల యందు కూడా మనము పట్టును సాధించవచ్చు అని సైంటిఫికల్గా నిరూపించబడింది. సో సంస్కృతం నేర్చుకునేటువంటి పిల్లలు మిగిలినటువంటి విషయాల్లో కూడా వాళ్ళు చక్కటి పురోగతిని సాధించడం మనం గమనించవచ్చు. ప్రత్యేకించి మా ఈ ఇండిక్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్లో ఈ సంస్కృతాన్ని మేము ఎంతగానో ప్రోత్సహించడం జరుగుతుంది. ఇక్కడ సంస్కృతం అంటే చాలామంది అనుకుంటారు అది దేవుళ్ళకి సంబంధించిన లాంగ్వేజ్ కదా, వాళ్ళు హిందూ మతాన్ని ప్రోత్సహిస్తారేమో అని అనుకుంటారు. కాకపోతే అది చాలా తప్పు. సంస్కృతం అనేది మన సంస్కృతి సాంప్రదాయం. ఇక్కడ మేము ప్రత్యేకించి ఈ ఇండిక్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్కూల్లో సంస్కృతం అనేది మన పూర్వకాలపు వ్యవస్థలో సంస్కృతం వాడుక భాషగా ఉండబట్టి అప్పుడు రచించినటువంటి కావ్యాలు గ్రంథాలన్నీ కూడా సంస్కృత భాషలో రచించారు. ఇప్పుడు ఏ విధంగా అయితే మనం తెలుగు, ఇంగ్లీష్, హిందీ యూజ్ చేస్తూ మనం ఆ భాషలలో పుస్తకాలను రచిస్తున్నామో పూర్వకాలంలో కూడా అదే విధంగా రచించడం జరిగింది. అంతే తప్ప అప్పుడు రాయబడినటువంటి గ్రంథాలన్నీ సంస్కృతంలోనే ఉన్నాయి. సో అదంతా కూడా హిందూయిజానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి లాంగ్వేజ్ అయి ఉంటుంది అని అనుకోవడం మూర్ఖత్వం అవుతుంది. సంస్కృతం అనేది మన సాంప్రదాయము, సంస్కృతం అనేది మన భారతీయత. అజ్ఞానతిమిరాంధస్య జ్ఞానాంజనశలాకయా చక్షురున్మీలితం యేన తస్మై శ్రీ గురవే నమః. అజ్ఞానం అనేటువంటి బంధకాల నుంచి మనల్ని విముక్తులుగా చేస్తూ జ్ఞానం అనేటువంటి మార్గం వైపుగా నడిపిస్తున్నటువంటి గురువులందరికీ కూడా నా శిరస్సు వంచి పాదాభివందనాలు చేస్తున్నాను.
What are the future inclusions in the School of Indic International that will talk more about Indian heritage, Indian culture and Indian science?
Yeah, there's several aspects which are not represented properly in our curriculum. We would like to introduce modules which would at least begin a debate on those aspects. For instance, you could take the Aryan invasion theory. Now, in all latest research and scientific findings, that entire theory is debunked, that there was no two races of Aryans and Dravidians. But you look at the situation in India today where you have an entire state's politics revolving around a theory which has already been scientifically debunked. But be that as it may, we thought at least let the students begin discussing what are the flaws in that theory and what the latest scientific developments are. So there are other aspects of the current curriculum which we'll try and correct through our modules. And then there are aspects which the present curriculum doesn't cover at all. And those aspects again we want to introduce. Beginning from next year is a module which we call the Indian calendar system. So in my perception, I always thought that we have a very unscientific calendar because Diwali comes in October once and November once, and whereas if you look at Christmas, it's always dot on December 25th. So Western calendar is a very scientific calendar is what I used to think. But when I dug in a little deeper, studied it, I found that it's our calendar which is perfectly scientific and in sync with the cosmos, and it's a Western Gregorian calendar which is not. So that's one system we'd like to introduce. Also because need to have a scientific calendar also led to the spurt in scientific and mathematic development. The entire field of science and math owes its origin to Indians being able to predict the planetary movements properly and to being able to predict monsoon properly. Because monsoon is a critical part, and India being an agriculturally dependent economy then, it was very important to predict monsoons properly. So that need led to the development of the entire astronomical field, the planetary movement, mathematics, everything. And that got reflected in our calendar system. So that's a module that we'd like to cover. These and many more such modules we'll be introducing in the years going ahead.
Great, amazing. That's one very interesting aspect. And right behind us, this seems to be a very beautiful representation of our map of Bharat, or should I say it is an Akhand Bharat representation.
Yeah, it is actually the topographical map of India, how it looks to be from the space. So if you look at it, it's the Himalayas to the north, and of course ocean is not there, but oceans to the south. This we've done because we wanted to correct one specific misconception amongst a lot of people which our present curriculum brings in. And they believe and say that India is a result of the fruits of the British, that India was never a nation before 1947. So we wanted this map here, and along with this we'll have a shloka from Vishnu Purana coming in, which will be Uttaram Yat Samudrasya, what lies to the north of the oceans. Himadraschaiva Dakshinam, what lies to the south of the Himalayas. Varsham Tada Bharata Nama. This entire landmass is called Bharatvarsh. Bharati Yatra Santati. And the descendants of Bharata live here. So now, whichever date you give to Vishnu Purana, from that day at least this entire landmass, not just the present modern day India, but the entire landmass to the south of Himalayas and north of the oceans, including Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, was India, was Bharat. So that's a perception that we wanted to correct, and that's why we thought of a map and made it here.
So basically what you're saying is that actually debunks many narratives and theories that Bharat was never a place like a kingdom. It was like whoever used to come and occupy, and that used to be their kingdom.
Correct. Absolutely. So there is a big debate now. Is a nation made only by the political boundaries? Present day India, yes, it's a political nation. But the old Bharata, it was always a civilizational nation. It was always a civilizational state. Now, why would Kedarnath, Badrinath have priests from the south of India? And why would north of India accept a priest from south of India if it was not one nation? We always had this notion and feeling that this entire landmass is one, that we are one people, that we are one nation, we are one Rashtra. And that's what we wanted depicted through this map. That's why we have this map.
Amazing. So that was Mr. Ashish Naredi, who has come up with his school, which is the spirit of this school is Bharata, the culture, Indian culture, and the foundation is being set to the students over here, and we are looking forward many leaders in the form of students come out of this space, and we bring to you from time to time, we bring the latest advancements, upgradation and achievements from the school. So this is Sudheer Goutham, the founder, CEO and editor-in-chief for IndiGlobal Media Network, signing off till the time we bring to you yet another inspiring story of an institution, of an individual in these IndiGlobal Campus Trails.